In the dead of night, doors were locked, windows were barred. Guns were loaded not because an enemy army was coming, but because a rumor was spreading. Across the Tennessee Valley, white families began to believe that the people they enslaved were preparing to rise. No declarations. No battle flags. Just whispers, and in the slaveholding South, a whisper was enough to unleash terror. This is the story of the Tennessee Valley Conspiracy, an uprising that may never have fully happened, yet changed everything. Welcome to Historic Crimes TV, where you get the true story of events that have happened in the past which helped shape the history of the world that we are living in. My mother said I wouldn't even reach 1,000 subscribers. Help me show her that real-life stories like this matter and deserve to be heard by liking the video, where you are watching from, share it with someone, and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. In the early 19th century, the Tennessee Valley was exploding with promise for some. Cotton plantations spread rapidly through northern Alabama, southern Tennessee, and into Mississippi. Land was cleared. Fortunes were made and slavery followed every plow. In many counties, enslaved Africans and African Americans outnumbered white residents, sometimes 2 or 3 to 1. Plantation life appeared orderly, structured, controlled, but control required constant violence. Patrols rode nightly. Passes were demanded. Gatherings were watched. Drums, literacy, and independent worship were restricted. Because slaveholders knew something they rarely admitted out loud. If the enslaved ever moved together, slavery would collapse. The first rumor had no clear beginning. Some said it came from a plantation kitchen. Others from a river landing. Some claimed they overheard it in prayer meetings held after dark. But soon, the story hardened into something terrifying. Enslaved men were said to be meeting secretly at night. Messages were allegedly traveling from plantation to plantation. The river, especially the Tennessee River, was believed to be a highway of rebellion. Boatmen, ferrymen, and dock workers. Men who moved beyond the fields. Men who could carry news. White residents whispered of weapons being forged. Of armories targeted. Of families marked for death. No single leader was named. No written plan was ever found. But fear does not wait for evidence. This fear did not come from nowhere. The South had seen what enslaved people could do. Just decades earlier, the Haitian Revolution had shattered the world's most profitable slave colony. Enslaved people had not only rebelled, they had won. In the United States, memories still burned of planned uprisings. Gabriel Prosser, who nearly seized Richmond. Denmark Vesey, whose alleged conspiracy terrified Charleston. Southern slaveholders understood a dangerous truth. Slavery survived only by suppressing imagination. The moment enslaved people imagined freedom together, the system was already dying. So when whispers spread through the Tennessee Valley, white authorities did not ask if they were true. They asked how fast they could crush them. Militias were mobilized. Patrols doubled. Homes of enslaved people were searched. Interrogations began, and they were brutal. Men and women were whipped until they named names. Confessions were extracted through pain. Silence was treated as guilt. Trials, when held at all, were closed. There were no juries of peers. No legal defense. No appeals. Some accused were publicly whipped. Others were jailed. Many were sold south, disappeared forever, and some were executed. The exact number is lost to history. Records vanish where violence was most intense. But the message was unmistakable. This was not justice. It was terror as policy. So was there truly a conspiracy? Historians still debate. It is entirely possible that enslaved people were organizing. They shared information, they met in secret, they understood the river, they knew the stories of Haiti. Even discussing rebellion was an act of resistance. But there is also no surviving evidence of a unified, valley-wide plot. No letters. No manifestos. No confirmed leaders. What survives instead is fear, and fear, in the slaveholding South, was enough to justify any violence. The truth may lie somewhere in between, real resistance, magnified into mass hysteria. After the panic faded, slavery emerged tighter, harsher, more controlled. New laws restricted movement. Literacy bans hardened. Independent worship was crushed. The Tennessee Valley Conspiracy, real or imagined, became a warning. To enslaved people, dreaming could get you killed. To slaveholders, terror worked, and so the story was buried. No monument marks the Tennessee Valley Conspiracy. No battlefield remembers it. Only silence. But if a whisper could terrify an entire region, it reveals something powerful. Slavery was never secure. Freedom haunted it, day and night. And sometimes, The fear of rebellion was more dangerous than rebellion itself.